Alrighty, I am Steve. This is A.S. for Alice, B's for Bob, and she is continuing my CD purge. I have a Steven Wilson t-shirt on. Has nothing to do with this segment. Just happens to be what I was wearing. So, where did I leave off? I left off in the eyes, I believe. I'm not sure where this video is going to post because I'm just filming a bunch of them because our dog, Maddie, you've probably heard me mention her name, she blew out her ACL. So Thursday, which is February 5th, I am taking her to the surgeon for the consultation. It's kind of just, a pre-op kind of soiree, if you will. And then Monday, which is the 8th, she will be having surgery. We're going to do orthoscopic though, so it's a smaller incision, quicker recovery, much easier on her, much easier on us. So I'm just going to be posting these, and I may not respond in my normal quick fashion. So here we go. Oh, you may have seen my unboxing of my favorite box set of all time. I still have the CDs. I have to decide what I'm going to do with these. I'm probably going to keep them. Why? Because I'm an idiot. But you know what? It's one of your favorite artists. It's hard to part with any of it. So his solo debut from '75, the self-titled. Always loved that album cover. Followed up by Overnight Angels. These may not be in order. All American Alien Boy, I think his best album. You're Never Alone with the Schizophrenic. Side 2, excuse me, side 2 of the proper LP. Standing in the Light, Bastard, and Outsider. Oh man, what a way to wrap up an album. Short Back and Sides. I really like this album. He's got, on this album and this album, he's got a lot of the E Street Band on here, so he's got a solid band playing with him. All the Good Ones Are Taken. Another one I really like. Dirty Laundry. Artful Dodger with the heart-wrenching tribute to Mick Ronson, Michael Picasso. Rant. It's a huge return to form for him. Not that he had dropped off any, but he really came back swinging. Shrunken Heads. I think this is definitely a top 5 album for me, for him. Probably one of the weaker of his later day albums, Man Overboard, but still a very solid album. When I'm President, Fingers Crossed with his tribute to David Bowie, a song called Dandy. Then he went on a tear here with a couple albums back to back. Because what is he now? He's like 85 years old, Ian Hunter. Defiance Part 1, multiple guests. A who's who. Defiance Part 2, same thing. And then also I have this. This is the Secret Sessions. This is with Corky Lang, Mick Ronson, Felix Pappalardi. Special appearances by Eric Clapton, Dickie Betts, Leslie West, John Sebastian, Todd Rundgren. Get it if you can. Then the Hunter Ronson Band. That's the only album they did, I believe. Okay, so those are definitely all keepers for now. Coming up to the band Indigenous. This is very much like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Grab anything by these guys if you can. This is Things We Do. And I don't have enough of their stuff. This is the album Circle. Those are definitely keepers. Imperial Drag. Yeah, you got some modern day glam rock here. Although, what year is this? 96. So, oh my God, that's already 30 years old. Call that modern day. It's a Beautiful Day. You would know the song White Bird. And I think this is late 60s. It was an album I never bought on my own. My favorite uncle, when he passed away, my mom told me, she said, why don't you come with me over to his house, take any of his CDs you want. He was actually an uncle through marriage, married my favorite aunt, who was my mother's sister. And he had served in Vietnam, but he actually married my aunt later in life because it was my aunt's second husband, and he was only, I think, 12 years older than me. So musically, in some ways, we were in tune. So anything I got from him, I cannot give away. Inxus, or do you say In Excess? It's the only album I have of theirs. I listened to it the other day. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's not bad, but it's just not my kind of thing. It's 85. I'll keep it in case Gary pops over to my house and says, hey, play some Inxus, would you? Izzy Stradlin, 117. His stuff is very kind of Stones-like, very gritty. I like this album more. This is the self-titled debut, I believe, right? Yeah, Izzy Stradlin and the Juju Hounds. Song on here, Cutting the Rug. Great song. Then Ike Riley, Salesman and Racist. I bought this for the song Cash is King, and I listened to it like 3 times over the last week. This is a very good album. It's a keeper, as they say. All right, now, do I dare go into the world of post-punk? Yes, Nikki Anderson's project, Imperial State Electric. Some would say this is post-punk. I'm not going to. Or did I just do it? I don't know. But anyway, self-titled debut. Fantastic. Fantastic. Pop star. Fantastic. Should I say amazing? This is called In Concert, but actually it's not in concert. It's just all done in studio, and it's really an EP. They do Leave My Kitten Alone, Sweet Little 16, You Can't Do That, Beatles. All right, this was only available for release in Japan, but thankfully to the internet, you can get it anywhere. This is Radio Electric. Oh, they do a closing song. They do a great cover version of Maggie May by Rod Stewart. Reptile Brain Music. That's probably their weakest album, I would say. And then, man, they finish up. Boom, boom. Last 2, Honk Machine. And then All Through the Night. Those last 2 albums, get them if you can. Just great. All right, moving on. We have got you some Iron Maiden, the debut. Killers. The Number of the Beast. Peace of Mind. Power Slave. Somewhere in Time. Chris Brophy's favorite Iron Maiden. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. That's how I got into him. No Prayer for the Dying. Fear of the Dark. Brave New World. Really like that one. Dance of Death. Yeah, forget the album cover. We know everybody hates the album cover. Matter of Life and Death. The Final Frontier. Not the Final Countdown. The Book of Souls. Saw them on this tour. I like that album. I know a lot of people don't. Okay, so then we got my guy. I really got into a couple of years ago. Israel Nash. This is Israel Nash's Silver Season. Then we have Rain Planes. Man, does he sound like Neil Young on this album. Topaz. Solid album. My favorite album by him, Ozarker. This is the album I was pushing on everybody a couple of years ago. And then, I just forget what this one's called. Oh, Lifted. I will buy anything with the name Israel Nash on it. All right, now we're moving on to the J's, right? I don't have any more I's here. Okay, just curious as how people, excuse me, I'm getting parched. As how people file a band that starts with an initial, you got a period and then a last name, proper last name. Like Jay Gal's band. I put it under J. And at the very beginning of J, because it's J dot. So there you go, their debut. followed up by The Morning After. Problem with Jay Gal's band was what they did in the studio, or what they did on stage live. They could never capture in the studio. All their live albums are great, fantastic, A+. Studio albums, they just lack that energy. And even though they had different producers and they self-produce, just could never match it. Ladies Invited. I think this, well, to me, Freeze Frame's their worst studio album. This is probably second worst. One of my favorites, Nightmares. That's probably my favorite studio album by them. Bloodshot. Oh yeah, ain't nothing but a house party. Hotline with some Love-itis. Breaking into my Peter Wolf rap here. Monkey Island. Yeah, it's kind of shiny and polished, but I really like this album. Produced and arranged by the band themselves. Sanctuary. Very good album too. Actually, Love Stinks. That's not a bad album. But man, Freeze Frame, I only have this because I'm a completist. That's the only reason to buy that album. I do not like that album at all. Okay, moving on to my buddy Rich Strickler's. This may be Rich's favorite artist. Jackson Browne. Hold on, we got these. Well, they're not all in order anyway. Sam St. John will tell you that. For Every Man. Saturate Before Using. His breakout album, Doctor My Eyes. Yeah, it could be. I believe this is Rich's favorite album by him, Late for the Sky. It is a fantastic album. Where's some more Jackson here? I got to get these kind of in order here, don't I? Okay, Running on Empty. I guess we could say that is the huge breakout album for him. My favorite album by him, The Pretender. What else we got? We got any others? And I do have Jackson's entire discography. Just some of it's on LP, some of it's on CD. So then we got Lawyers in Love. Like Holdout, I don't have on CD, but I know I have the LP. Lives in Balance. World in Motion. I'm Alive. The Naked Ride Home. Looking Fast. Time the Conqueror. A very old, grizzled, not old, but just kind of worn into his skin at that point, Jackson Browne. So I am keeping all of those. Here's one. My good buddy Glenn Kellaway, he touted this album. I'm not a fan of it. Jocko Jaksic of King Crimson fame. Son of Glenn. No. You are out the door, sonny boy. Moving on to James Gang. Album Thirds. That's Keeper. Rides Again. Keeper. Then we move on to the Tommy Bolin era. Bang. Well, it's Tommy Bolin. Of course, we're keeping it. Miami. Yep. Tommy's on it. We're keeping it. If you're familiar with the band Manic Street Preachers, right? Creative force of the band, James Dean Bradfield. This is the album, The Great Western. I really like this solo album. Very good. Oh, one of my favorite prog rock bands of the early 70s, although they went on for a long time. But this debut album, Jane, from 1972, Together, on the Brain label. You might have just seen Jack at the Vinyl Martini talking up Brain recently. That is a great album. Unfortunately, their lead singer died very young. That's the only album he did with them. Then we've got Fire, Earth, and Air. That's very good. This is probably a little more Hawkwind like. Jane 3, also very good album. After this point, then we start to get kind of hit and miss stuff with them. Age of Madness, not bad. Beautiful Lady, she might be, but not sure about the music. Between Heaven and Hell. Lady. Sign number 9. Horrible title for an album. here we are. And that takes care of Jane. Those are all keepers. Jay Ferguson. I think I have this on LP. If I do, I'm getting rid of the LP because I only want this for one song. And if you're only playing one song, CD comes in much handier. You know what song I'm talking about? Thunder Island. Do. All right, Americana Sam. I didn't see him mention this band, but from what I can tell, the criteria for being Americana, whether it's Americana or not, Sam is going to tell you which bands are Americana, okay? Because he pulled out Marshall Crenshaw. I'm like, how is that Americana? That is nothing like most of the other artists I hear mentioned with that. Jayhawks, Blue Earth, Hollywood Town Hall. You don't believe me? You want to hear what the critic says? One of the best albums you'll hear. The Jayhawks are an astonishingly easy band to love. How can't you like them? This might be my favorite album by them, Tomorrow with the Green Grass. Actually, for whatever reason, they decided to do a cover version of Bad Time by Grand Funk Railroad. And actually, it's not a bad version. Sound of Lies. Smile. It's not the crappy Beach Boys album. Nope. Rainy Day Music. I have this on vinyl also. Thank you to Jeff Witcher. He sent that to me as VCLT. Mockingbird Time. All right, moving on now to, got to see this guy on this tour. Jeff Healey, See the Light. And the follow-up, Hell to Pay. And we've got, this is modern day power pop. This is 2024. I tried listening to it. I can't get into it. Jelly Bricks, Dreaming in Stereo. I don't like it. It's gone. Now here's some good power pop for you. I do have this on vinyl, but I'm going to keep the CD too because it is that good of an album. Jellyfish Belly Button. And their follow-up, Spilt Milk. Oh, I'm keeping that too. So I am not getting rid of a lot. Man, I see I'm getting rid of 2 albums here. Wow, that is not a good hit ratio. But anyway, that's it. Please, fingers crossed, and hopefully Maddie turns out okay from this surgery. Thank you.